Chapter 6. Poor Unfortunate Souls. Deep within the ocean, below the cliffs of Morningstar Kingdom, was Ursula's lair. It was fashioned out of the skeletal remains of a horrid sea monster, and it glowed with an eerie putrance. The sea witch was happy to be home with her minions and the comfort of all her things around her. She had recently spent far too much time on land and needed the tranquility of being under the sea. The three sisters had their tasks on land and were working hard at them, while Ursula prepared below for her visit from Triton's youngest daughter. There was only one element of the spell they required: Ariel's soul. Ursula's pets were swimming about her, having missed their mistress desperately when she was away with Lucinda, Ruby, and Martha. But they were careful not to speak just yet, for they knew she was devising her schemes to trick Ariel. They watched their mistress with a shared enthusiasm, each with a sickly yellow eye glowing in Ursula's murky domain. Only Ursula knew the true nature of the beasts, but they seemed to inhabit the same mind, making them appear symbiotic in their deviousness. The slinking creatures sliced through the water, and Ursula watched through a mystical bubble in her throne room as Ariel rushed home to Triton. The little mermaid was late for the most important event of her entire life, her presentation to the merfolk. "Yes, hurry home, princess. We wouldn't want to miss dear old Daddy's celebration, would we?" "Celebration indeed. Oh, bah! In my day, we had fantastical feasts when I lived in the palace. And now look at me, banished and exiled, while he and his flimsy fish folks celebrate. Well, I'll give them something to celebrate soon enough. Flotsam, jetsam! I want you to keep an extra close watch on this pretty little daughter of his. She may be the key to Triton's undoing." How Ursula hated being relegated to these paltry dealings since being banished from her brother's kingdom and sent off into the darkness to usher little exchanges for bits of power. It would have taken an eternity to steal one soul at a time, waiting until she had enough power to destroy Triton. If it hadn't been for the odd sisters and their dear sister Circe's returning the shell necklace Triton had previously robbed her of, Ursula wouldn't be in full possession of her powers. It played in her favor, however, to let her brother think she was still powerless and alone in the darkness with only her harmless spells. Not that they were ever really harmless, mind you, just not as grand as they might have been. Until now. She smiled when she looked upon the withered little souls in her garden, the poor unfortunate creatures she'd taken into her charge. It wasn't her fault they flitted their lives away. No one had made them place their souls in her hands. They were the ones unable to fill the terms of the contract, not her. Now that she had her true powers, she needed not meddle in the lives of Triton's silly subjects. She needed not lure them into the unprotected realms, seeking her magic, hoping she would fulfill their wishes in exchange for their souls. She had real power now, her own, and she had great allies in the sisters. If she was going to take a soul, it would be for her pleasure and amusement. Yes, she only had to play the part of the maker of deals one last time. After that, she needed not ever put herself on display like a carnival barker, singing her wares, enchanting her would-be victims with songs about her desire to help those in need. It was sickening, really, the depths in which she'd had to sink to gather the pitiful little souls in her garden. Those days were finally behind her. She had only one more performance, one last soul she needed for bartering purposes: Ariel's. She wondered what the girl was like. It was difficult to tell from the glimpses she caught in her bubble orb. She was no doubt headstrong like her father. That could mean she would drive a hard bargain. The girl was beautiful, too. Ursula wouldn't imagine Triton having a daughter who wasn't. He certainly couldn't stand to have a sister who didn't fit his image of beauty. Then Ursula thought of her, Athena, Ariel's departed mother. She had been very beautiful, even for a mermaid. Ursula wondered if Ariel shared her mother's heart as well as her beauty. Remembering Athena made Ursula's heart hurt. Ariel isn't Triton's daughter alone, she thought. She shares her mother's blood as well. Would Ursula be able to destroy Athena's daughter? Athena had fought endlessly with Triton, defending Ursula, trying to persuade him to let his sister rule by his side, reminding him of their parents' wishes. The memories felt hidden, as if they were veiled by murky water or a thick fog, hard to reach, hard to connect to, because Ursula was no longer the creature who cared what her brother thought of her. Athena had never made her feel loathsome, never made her feel ashamed of who she was, never wanted her to hide. If it hadn't been Athena, Ursula would have gone off into the unprotected waters long before she was banished. It was Athena who had railed against Triton the night of the ball, denouncing his treatment of his sister when she had decided to show up to the royal function in her true form. It was Athena who had called her beautiful, and Ursula believed her words were heartfelt and true. But she couldn't think of Athena. She couldn't be distracted by the past. She needed Ariel's soul. If she is anything like her remarkable mother, Ursula thought, this girl shouldn't be willing to fight for what she believes in, even against her father. But there was only one question worth asking. Is Ariel the sort of girl willing to wager her soul for the possibility of true love? Well, well, we shall see.